The Academy Awards for the films of 2001 were dominated by one film and one filmmaker.
I'm Ron Howard.
He was the all-American boy who grew up in front of millions of moviegoers and television viewers. Ron Howard, known as Ronnie early on, was just 2 years old when he made his film debut. He hasn't stopped working since.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. My home sweet home.
After more than 2 decades as a successful actor, Ron Howard moved behind the camera and began building a new career as a producer and director.
I'm Ron Howard. This is Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is a love story with cars.
Grand Theft Auto, directed by and starring Ron Howard.
Well, hell. I think all films are really, really difficult, and it's a kind of a miracle anytime any film is made, and even more miraculous when it's good.
He was successful there, too, with his greatest achievement arriving in the year 2001. That's when Ron directed and co-produced Best Picture nominee A Beautiful Mind, which starred the previous year's Best Actor winner, Russell Crowe. Crowe earned himself another nomination, his third in as many years. Ron Howard picked up 2, for both Best Director and Best Picture, and Jennifer Connelly, who co-starred as Crowe's wife, went up for Best Supporting Actress. Connelly's competition included Marissa Tomei, a former winner for My Cousin Vinny, whose faltering career got a much-needed boost with In the Bedroom. A trio of Brits, Helen Mirren and Maggie Smith, both for Gosford Park, and Titanic star Kate Winslet, nominated this time for her supporting role in Iris. Englishman also accounted for 3 of the 5 supporting actor nominees. Jim Broadbent for Iris. Ben Kingsley, a winner for Gandhi 2 decades earlier, was back with Sexy Beast, and Ian McKellen, whom the Hollywood press had anointed the front-runner for his role in the very popular Lord of the Rings. Another past winner, Jon Voight, was nominated for Ali, and Ethan Hawke for Training Day. The star of Training Day was Denzel Washington, and he was 1/3 of a history-making team this Oscar night. Washington went up for Best Actor, as did Will Smith for the title role in Ali. It was the first time 2 African Americans competed for Best Actor, a category that hadn't seen a black winner since Sidney Poitier nearly 4 decades earlier. And then there was Halle Berry, nominated for Monsters Ball. She was trying to become the first African American ever to win the Best Actress award.
Monsters Ball is a story about 2 people. My character, Letitia, who is a struggling single mother. Her husband is on death row awaiting death, and she falls in love with the most unlikable person, the prison guard that actually is part of her husband's execution. And he's from a long family of racism and racists. And the story then is about how these 2 people who suffer so much pain and so much loss, how they come together and find each other, and ultimately turns out to be a really beautiful love story that sort of ends on a hopeful note, unlike the note that it all started on.
Halle Berry would have some tough competition for that Best Actress Oscar, including former winners Sissy Spacek for In the Bedroom and Judi Dench for Iris. A couple of first-time nominees rounded out the category. Renee Zellweger, who adopted a regimen of omelets, pizza, and milkshakes in order to put on 20 pounds for her role in Bridget Jones' Diary, and the recently divorced former Mrs. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, star of the Best Picture nominee Moulin Rouge. The press anointed Moulin Rouge and A Beautiful Mind as frontrunners for the Best Picture award, even though The Lord of the Rings had the most nominations with 13. Rounding out the category, Robert Altman's Gosford Park and In the Bedroom, the movie Harvey Weinstein and Miramax were pinning their hopes on this year. As usual, the Best Supporting Actor and Actress awards were among the first handed out. Supporting Actor was something of a surprise, with the Oscar going not to Ian McKellen, but a fellow Brit, veteran character actor Jim Broadbent, for Iris. No surprise was the supporting actress winner, Jennifer Connelly, for A Beautiful Mind.
It's been such an honor. I was so grateful just to work on the movie, but then I can't deny the fact that this has been really lovely as well, and I'm immensely flattered by it. All that said, you know, I'm working now on something else, and then there's the next job, and it's kind of, you start from scratch, and so I get right back into, well, will I be good, and what's going to happen, and what do I do, and what choices do I make? So my head is a little bit there right now, just hoping that I can do well on the next one.
Midway through the show, an already electric evening got an extra surge of star power as the Academy handed out honorary awards to a couple of Hollywood legends, Robert Redford and Sidney Poitier.
I've been a part of this community for 50-odd years. And I've done 53 motion pictures, most of which were made in this town. I know the town, and I can give you point by point how much the town has changed. I can also give you point by point of areas in which the town has not changed. But it'll take infinitely more time than I have tonight for us to get into that. What I'm simply saying is that I've had a great run in films in this town, and I have seen films change, because I came here at a time when this Hollywood that you know was not the Hollywood here when I arrived.
It's a strange feeling. It's just hard for me to connect to it, so it makes me a little shy, I guess, but I'm certainly honored. And I think the thing that moves me is to be joined by my colleagues and peers. I mean, to me, there's no greater reward than to be honored by the people you work with. So, of course, I'm very, very moved by it.
It had been nearly 4 decades since Sidney Poitier became the first and only African-American to win the Best Actor Oscar. A lot of Academy voters apparently thought it was about time that changed, as they voted to honor a very grateful and dignified Denzel Washington.
The whole thing with Sidney and all that, I mean, I'm just glad to know the man. For me, it's more personal. You know, there's a lot of talk about it and race and all of those issues, but my feelings for him I've had long before this became news, and I just feel closer to him now. I mean, I am in terms of awards, but just personally, I feel closer to him.
But the Academy was not through making history. When it came time to announce the Best Actress Award, the winner was Halle Berry, the first black woman ever to win that honor.
Because, you know, this moment, although I'm standing here, I meant it. It's really not just about me. You know, it's about so many people that went before me, that paved the way, and people who are fighting alongside with me, and the ones that will come along, whose path will be indelibly easier because of everyone. So it's not really about me as much as it's about so many other women of color who have tried to permeate, you know, this system for so many years. And today, this meant, you know, hope. That glass ceiling was broken wide open, and that just feels good for me and for all of them, too.
On this historic evening for African Americans, the final 2 awards may have seemed anticlimactic to some, but not to Ron Howard. The most beautiful part of his evening came at the very end, when he won the Best Director Award and A Beautiful Mind was named Best Picture of the Year.
You know, look, it's absolutely thrilling, because the Oscars, these 2 Oscars mean 2 different things to me. So one is for the work as a director. It's a dream that I've always had. This other one, and you know, Brian produces these movies, and when I'm directing, you know, he lets me put my name on it, so that if this kind of thing happens, I'm in on it. And this is about the partnership, and what we've been able to do together, and that means, you know, it has meaning on a very deep but different level.
A former child star who bucked the odds by not only surviving but thriving in Tinseltown. And a pair of hard-working actors who overcame obstacles of their own and made history in the process. Proof positive that sometimes in Hollywood, dreams really do come true.